Good morning. It is Friday, January 9th. We are 90 days out from April 9th. Your DTD2 continues this week. You are texting your N's, calling your A's and W's. And that's just a tool built by Steve Schlueter. It's a great class called Never Ending Referrals. And, how do we make sure that we're having all the necessary conversations, which are ultimately all of the conversations? Great quote, great thought process from Susan Scott. It's a phenomenal book called Fierce Conversations. And she says in the book, no one conversation will make or break a relationship, yet anyone could. So take that for what it is. When you think about the erosion of any relationship, it starts with lack of communication, right? If you watched any, I'm a huge fan of like geopolitical movies and espionage and all that kind of stuff. And I remember watching, it might have been, was it called 13 Days? I think it was about the Bay of Pigs. And they were having conversations that the character that played Bobby Kennedy was talking to a Russian diplomat, and they were trying to get the whole thing worked out. And they basically were talking about the fact, like, when the conversation stops, when diplomacy stops, is when aggression begins, or the parting of ways begins, right? So, and, it's not that aggressive, not to make it that monumental. But when you think about, hey, when's the last time I talked to them? Have we earned the right to be the person they trust with their business? And that's why we have that in place. We talked about the 6% yesterday, right? It's 0.06. Whatever your database has for a number in it, as many people as you have in your database, you multiply that by 0.06. 6% of the United States will be part of or right next to a transaction over the next 12 months. And we can't even imagine to be part of our 6% if we're not communicating with them. You've got people in your database that may have forgotten what you do, don't know what you do yet, or they just think you're too busy. Yeah, I haven't really talked to them since they became a real estate agent. I mean, if anybody in your circle of friends hasn't talked to you in a long time, that's, from a friendship standpoint, that everyone's at fault. But if you are not allowed to be insulted if they go and do real estate stuff without you. You're not making them feel special. You're not making them feel seen. You're not making them feel cared for, like Diana Kokoska's dad said, right? So we've got a lot going on for a Friday, which is fantastic. We're fortunate to have stuff going on the calendar every day. If you jump into the morning news, it comes into your inbox around 7:15 or so on a daily basis. And the morning news goes like this today. We are, James Shaw is always at 8 o'clock. So you'll see in the morning news, just to clarify this whole thing, James Shaw's pre-show starts at 7:30. I'll repeat that. He has a pre-show. Yes, he is that cool. So at 7:30, you can go into the Zoom room. Now, he just took a 2-week holiday break. So you can imagine the fans that were sleeping out, like they were sleeping out for Dave Matthews tickets. If you're not in there right now this week, I can tell you, if you're not in there by 7:40, you're waiting for face space. So he'll go to 1,000 in the Zoom room, and then at 8 o'clock, and the pre-show is what the pre-show is. It's all over the place. Like, they play music on, people get to make a donation and pick the song on Friday, and then he does Ask Me Anything. Like, he does all this stuff. The pre-show is a whole different thing altogether, but it feels like the show. It feels like the 8 o'clock thing. Yet he makes himself available for the most part from 7:30 to 8:20 every day. So that 7:30 pre-show, there's a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of nuggets in there. And that's people just getting there early on time, making sure they're in the Zoom room because they want to be in the Zoom room. And then once it spills over, you have to go to face space. And a little note will pop up and say, Zoom room is full, go to face space. And if you miss it, even on face space, you can listen to it later because his team uploads the audio every day as a daily podcast. And there's always something of value coming out of that conversation, because you have to remember, you've got agents from coast to coast jumping on there. And this has been part of our calendar since he made it permanent. He started it in March of 2020, the week after COVID shut down the country. And then he actually, in September of that year, he's like, I think we're good. And then within 2 weeks, he's like, no, we need this. And people wanted it. And here we are. It's going to be 6 years old this March. And it's a fantastic community. That's why we share it with you. Nothing is on our calendar just to be on our calendar. There's value there. Then at 8:30, we have our conversation. Hi, good to see you. At 9 o'clock today, you have your opportunity to go to Fight Club, KWFightClub.com, KWFightClub.com. Cameras on, microphones off, doing what you need to do to make sure you're inducing enough conversations to talk to your 6%. Also today at 9 o'clock, Session 3 of Ignite, Connect with Your Market. You've got Taylor Medeiros-Beatty joining us today. Her and her husband and their 32 children. I wish I were kidding. I'm joking. It's not 32. Not yet. Give them time. They've got so much going on, and they're doing such a great business. And she's going to share with you some of her insights on how she connects with her market and stays involved and takes care of a massive family and lives a wonderful life. So if you have not yet had the chance to spend time with Taylor Medeiros-Beatty, I implore you to block off your 9 o'clock today. We will meet you in the Zoom room for that. And that is at KellerIgnite.com. That's also at 9 o'clock today. Ignite goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday through Friday, the 20th of February. We will have our last session on the Friday that we are escaping to go to family reunion down in Atlanta. So that's on deck. At 11 o'clock today, we've got Coffee with a Capper. We're calling it Latte with a Leader, or maybe Decaf for the Doyle. Sue Doyle is going to join us. We finally get Bradley Kelly back in studio. So the three of us will be here in the Portsmouth studios having a conversation at 11 o'clock. Coffee with a Capper is back for 2026. And we've got Doyle in-house today. That's at 11 o'clock. Facebook Live for that. The links for all of these things are in the morning news. Also at 11 o'clock, you've got Maggie McDowell. She's doing the Command Jumpstart. That's wrapping up today. You can register for that. The link for that's in the morning news. 1 o'clock, jump back into timsoffice.com. We're doing the midday protocol. We're going to talk about what did or didn't happen this morning. How did you do with your conversations, your appointments, and your contracts? And then we're going to wrap up the week talking about John Gordon's book, The Energy Bus, and how we defend and protect our energy to make sure we have what we need for us to do the next right thing and build the lives that we deserve. And then at 1:30, back to basics, KWCLM forms with your brokers, the amazing brokers we have here at KWCLM. That's at 1:30 on KellerTV.com. So you can jump into any and all of that today. If there's anything we can do to help, that's why the staff is here. Everyone on this staff is working for you. And I know in most corporate environments, you feel like, okay, well, the people at the office, you don't report to us. You report to your broker. I mean, your brokers, you report to Nate. Like, Nate owns the whole thing. You know, Nate's responsible for what every one of us does. But we don't report to anyone in particular. We report to each other. Everybody at this market center, when you choose to join this market center, you are putting on the uniform that all of your fellow agents wear. So as an agent of Market Center 463, as an agent of KWCLM, you represent all of the other agents and their families and their teams and everyone that they provide for. There's a great scene in the movie The Departed. Jack Nicholson comes out of the back room, at the bar that he, hangs out at. And there's a guy named Petey sitting on the stool, just one of the townies. He's like, Petey, how you doing? He's like, how's your mother? And he's like, she's on her way out. And he's like, we all are. Act accordingly. Let's behave as if we are stewards of the communities in which we serve. Let's understand that no matter how insulated we think we are, I'm amongst friends, everything we do matters. Whether we're leading or not leading, we're leading. And our actions will reflect on everyone else that we have chosen to do business with. So when you said, I want to go play at KWCLM, you stepped into a circle of trust of hundreds of realtors and their teams and their operational staffs. And everything that you do, everything that I do is a reflection upon each other. So let's take the menu of services in front of us. And if you need something on the menu today, dig in. If your morning is dedicated to having the conversations you need to have, to set the appointments, to get the contract signed, go do that. If you're on your way to grab a coffee for you and your buyers because you're going to meet them at 10 o'clock at a walkthrough and you're heading to a closing, awesome. Everything we do reflects upon the people we do business with and the people we do business for, both our clients and our families. So let's act accordingly. If I can help, let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. We'll see you in and around the market center and the internet. Have a fantastic weekend.